Today we're going to review another awesome vintage SUV on Bring a Trailer, and we'll go through the full vintage four-wheel daily evaluation process on this rig. But first, before we launch into today's example, if you're new to the channel, I'm Trey, and this is Vintage Four-Wheel Daily, where each day we'll highlight a special interest vintage SUV on popular auction sites and give you pointers from a buyer's perspective, what to look for and what to avoid. Our hope is that this simple daily format encourages interaction with viewers on vehicle condition and ending price points. So just starting today, we have a 2002 Land Rover Range Rover 4.6 Westminster Edition. This one's got 77,000 miles on the odometer. It features a 4-speed automatic transmission. The truck is finished in Java black over ash black leather. This Range Rover is located in Scottsdale, Arizona on consignment with 911R. Now, important to note here, 911R is one of the most prolific and reputable sellers on Bring a Trailer. I know this from experience over the years. I've seen many listings by 911R. This will be interesting. Also noteworthy, this vehicle is an alumni of Bring a Trailer, having sold for $31,500 back in October 22 on the site. So bidding is open on this one. It's currently at $2,002. We'll circle back to that. There's currently 11 comments on the vehicle. So on the 2002, that is intentional, that's purposeful. A lot of times the first bidder will bid the year model of the car. So in this case, it's a 2002 Range Rover. They bid $2,002. Very common for these auctions. So first, we'll start with the pros on this Range Rover. It is a limited edition model. It's the Westminster model. There were not many made. This one also does feature a grille guard. It also has an awesome color combination. The black on black was very desirable for the P38 Range Rover. From a work done standpoint, it lists rear bumper refinished in 2008, had the dryer for the EAS replaced in 2006. Never heard of that one. The shocks and air springs were replaced in 2014. The transmission filter and pan gasket were replaced in 2019. It also had an oil change in 2022. From a con standpoint, it's pretty limited. The age of the tires is unknown. I just asked the seller in the comments or send a direct message. The EAS is still on the car. That's the electronic air suspension. I'm not a big fan. I'd replace it with coils. The power door locks are listed as inoperable. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, it's not ideal, but you could still lock it with a key. They also note seepage is noted on the undercarriage components related to the repair of a transmission filter and pan gasket in 2019. Then taking a look at the CARFAX, CARFAX lists 4 owners for this Rover. With these entries from Wisconsin and Colorado, I make sure to check the Rover for rust, which is pretty common in these areas. Otherwise, it looks good. All right, so let's get into the pictures of this 2002 Land Rover Range Rover 4.6 Westminster. The first thing I like to do before I even jump to the pictures is look at the comment. Why do I look at the comments? Well, the comments will give you a very good indication of what to look for in the pictures. Right now, bidding on this listing, there's one bid at $2,002 by 60 Series LC. I have a feeling this guy bid on that because it's a 2002 year model. Happens a lot. Already talked about that. So right now we have 12 comments. The prolific 1996 MBZ, the Range Rover P38 is almost extinct. I only see 4 on the road per year. It's making me worried. Good point. You really don't see these as much anymore. I've had, I don't even know, probably 4 or 5 P38. So the P38 started from 96 and ended in 2002. It was the successor to the classic Range Rover, which ended in 95. I love them. Very classic styling. It's not as boxy as the classic Range Rover, but it's still just a really beautiful car. So I agree with this commenter here. You really don't see enough of these. Another one, any chance you'll be bringing this to Cars and Coffee. So a lot of people that are local want to look at the car in their local venue. No real call outs of any flaws or anything. I have a feeling this one's in very good shape. Obviously, I've seen the first pictures, but we're going to go through it and really look at this in some detail. All right, so first picture here. This is where 911R really shines. From all accounts, I've heard just nothing but really good things about 911R's auctions, but one of the things that jumps out the most is these pictures. I mean, these are just beautiful. Look at this landscape in Scottsdale. It makes me want to go there. It also makes me want to buy this car. It looks really nice. I don't know if these are the correct 2002 wheels, but they look nice. I thought they used to have a Hurricane wheel, but I could be incorrect. Really nice profile on this P38 Range Rover. Always really like the rear view of this. It is Yeah, it's not as boxy as the classic Range Rover, but it's just got such a square silhouette. It looks really nice. I also really have always liked they had the front brush guard on these P38s, especially with the 4.6, and also the rear tail light covers. It looks really nice. You know, we're 16 pictures into this thing. It looks really nice. The front, I've also really loved this. You don't have enough cars these days with these factory brush guards. This looked really nice. This is a Land Rover genuine factory grill guard. It looks really nice here. It says Land Rover across the top, right above the Range Rover on the hood. Just such a classic looking vehicle. This one also, I believe these all had the roof rack as standard equipment. And then just looking at this, like this shot here with the brush guard, the clear lenses, the light hitting this beautiful black paint correctly. This is how you do an auction. 911R knows how to do this. I mean, it just looks so sharp. Just the right angles. The other thing about this Range Rover, not only is it a 4.6 engine, it's also the Westminster package. It looks really nice. You know, as I look at this thing, I am having nostalgia to my 4.6 HSE, black on black. That thing was beautiful. I believe it was an 01. Obviously, still looks almost identical to this. Just so clean. One of the things I really loved about these were the interior. And to me, that was a real upgrade over the classic Range Rover. And trust me, I love the classic Range Rover. I think I've had 8 of them. So I never speak ill of the classic Range Rover, but the interior on this one was just so beautiful. And I'll show you why. We'll get to the interior pictures here quickly. So as you step into this vehicle, it just exuded luxury. I mean, it really did, from the trim, the paneling, the leather seating, everything about it. It's leaving me speechless. The cabin was just so richly appointed. The other thing I really loved was the wood grain on the steering wheel. It's just so beautiful. This is a really nice interior shot by 911R. It's just this kind of bird's eye view looking in from the door and the sunroof. Really gives you a good sense for this. I think the interior trim on a Westminster was blacked out. Just same thing, just a little bit closer up. You could just see the appointments and the attention to detail. Interesting. This one does not have the wood grain. I stand corrected. Usually they would have a wood grain steering wheel, or maybe that was an option. I had that on my black on black 4.6 HSE. This one looks to all be leather bound. This really is a timeless vehicle. Looking at the dash, everything looks clean. It's even got the little coin tray. I always thought that was a nice added touch, but there's no cracking, no visible flaw on this dash, which if the car spent any time outside, especially with black on black, that's rare. The cool thing about these cars is same thing with like vintage Mercedes. I've had a ton of those. You can almost, if you've owned enough of these, you can almost imagine the smell of the interior, and it's awesome. Tell me if you can relate. Put it in the comments. Look at this leather. I mean, not even a flaw on it. It looks beautiful, looks like new. And black interiors can be difficult to photograph at times. That's why this one has done an exceptional job. I'm curious to see the undercarriage on this one just because it's spent some time in Wisconsin and Colorado. But judging by this was babied. It was well cared for. Looking at this cargo area, that was one of the things that I always liked when I had this P38 Range Rover. It did have that nice cargo cover so you could store things safely without worrying about somebody coming and, you know, glancing in your car and seeing if there's something to steal. I also love taking this, well, I didn't love taking this thing to get service, but taking the Land Rover to the dealership and getting the service. They would always vacuum it out with these neat lines. Definitely a trip down memory lane here. And this is one of the must-have pictures on Bring a Trailer. These couple of pictures we'll look at of the undercarriage. I don't see a speck of rust. Looks like the axle or something could be undercoated. I don't think so. I think that's just the reflection in the light. This thing is extremely dry, extremely clean, which kind of surprises me given ownership history in Wisconsin and Colorado. I live in Colorado. I'm always worried about what the corrosive agent they put on the road when it snows here. It actually rusts cars. So this one looks like it was never taken out during a snow. Also with this Rover, you've got extensive vehicle history and service records from Land Rover. That's a huge, huge plus. So when I think about pricing and I think about that this sold for $31,500 about 6 months ago, it's easily going to retain its value. I think it could go up because, again, as MBZ said, the more time passes, the less quality versions of these P38s that you see. So in recap, what I'm seeing with this O2 Westminster, it's in fantastic shape. It's been well maintained. It's been dealer serviced, no rust, no corrosion. Exterior looks beautiful. Interior looks like flawless. If you're looking for a O2 Westminster, this is going to be one of the best you're going to find anywhere, especially with this service history. What a beautiful vehicle. So getting into pricing on this one, Bring a Trailer showing 30 completed sales of modern P38s. I used the year 2000 to 2002. Those are the most modern of the P38 for comparison. So looking at the numbers, we have an all-time high for the P38 at 80,538 in September 2002 for a 10,000 mile black on black 4.6 HSE. I told you that's the most popular color combination. However, most similar vehicles would be in the 25 to 30,000 range based on the condition. I did just see that there was a 23-year-old 4.6 HSE with 75,000 miles just sold for around 27,000 in March. There could be some softening in the P38 market since the last time this one sold. However, I do expect it to hold its previous value of 31.5 and maybe even inch up north of 33,000 since practically no miles have been added, but the vehicle is older and rare. So what do you guys think about this P38 auction? Love to hear your feedback on pricing and condition in the comments. Also, I should note, we are a new channel, and if you like the video, also make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way to inspire the creation of future content, especially since we have the goal of reviewing these auctions daily. Thanks again for watching. See you tomorrow for more vintage four-wheel drives.